Welcome back to the Timothy James and the Science Isn't Lame show. Today we will be discussing genes, not your Wranglers. Yes, today we will be talking about your DNA, and more specifically, the new genetic engineering technique involving CRISPR-Cas9. I'll be discussing what CRISPR is, its uses and benefits, and the controversy surrounding the tool. Erin Burnright from the Tucker Lab at the University of Iowa will also come on to give her own opinion on the issues at hand. Scientists have begun to get carried away with what we can do, that some forget to ask the question of what we should do. CRISPR is a controversial technique, but proper legislation for certifications for its use will lead to a safer and more productive tomorrow. So back to the fundamental question, what is CRISPR? Well, CRISPR stands for Clustered Regularly Interspaced Short Palindromic Repeats, which means nothing to most people. The important fact is that CRISPR is a DNA sequence found in the DNA of humans. This sequence comes from all the diseases you have had in the past, or those that your family has had a resistance to. It's essentially a guest list for diseases in the body, and Cas9 is the bouncer. Cas9 uses CRISPR to track down diseases and abnormalities in the body. On screen, you will see a diagram from yourgenome.org that shows the process of editing the genome. Essentially, guide RNA will find and bind to a target sequence given to it by CRISPR, and the Cas9 enzyme will bind to it and cut and replace that sequence. Scientists have been able to manipulate this guest list of diseases recently. They have been essentially able to reprogram the sequencing patterns to tell Cas9 to kill other things in the body. Like other modern-day gene editing tools, it can be used to treat people with certain diseases as well. And it can be used to prevent people from getting certain diseases. According to lifescience.org and yourgenome.org, two scientific websites that frequently post scientific studies to their websites, say CRISPR is the fastest, cheapest, and most accurate editing technique on the market today. It is currently being used to help cure diseases such as AIDS and cancer and disabilities such as deafness and blindness. But how effective is it, really? CRISPR is currently being used on a specific cellular level, meaning that it isn't being used to change a whole person yet. The technology has not yet been researched enough to know the effects of what doing this to the whole body would do. You see, your DNA has many points that may have almost identical sequences. In a specific cellular level, this isn't a problem because you know what you are editing. But with an entire human and the entire genome, it's hard to say. The Cas9 enzyme may mistake another part of your genome for what looks like what it's looking for, and replace or delete that section as well, leading to unknown results. The scientific community in general has agreed not to get ahead of themselves with this sort of technology. He Jiankui didn't get this message. He is a Chinese scientist who did the unthinkable. He edited 2 whole babies' genomes. This is huge because we don't know for sure what the sort of repercussions this will have on the babies. I interviewed Erin Burnright about this subject. Erin graduated with a bachelor's degree in biology from Cornell College. She completed her pre-doctoral training in gene therapy at the University of Iowa. She has now worked in the Tucker Lab at the University of Iowa for almost 10 years using such tools as CRISPR-Cas9 in an attempt to cure genetic blindness. When I first asked Erin about this subject, she was disgusted.
If there are no other viable alternatives.
Yeah.
But in this case, it was the father that was HIV positive. So the risk of transmitting is even, less in father versus mother to infant, mother to child transmission.
Erin is a big advocate for trying alternative treatments, but not like this. She proceeded to talk about the numerous other options HIV children may have.
People are living like normal life expectancy, to normal life expectancy, carrying HIV and not actually ever getting the AIDS disease.
Yeah. She agreed with me that some sort of further legislation is probably needed at this point because of stunts like this. The scientific community is supposed to follow certain guidelines for treatment like this, especially on humans.
Long-term studies in animals, long-term meaning greater than 5 years have not, it's not out there. So you don't know what long-term effects of it can be. And to a certain extent, you're not going to until you treat humans.
Hay claims that he only edited on a portion of the children so that they are HIV resistant. But this is impossible to know for sure until the children grow up. This is also huge because it may inspire other extreme scientists to try this under-the-counter treatment in attempts to gain fame. I then asked what sort of repercussions this may have on the future, as in, could this lead to other stunts like this one? She said it may increase the demand or desire for things such as designer babies sooner than people may have thought. The repercussions for something like this may be staggering. She said that this could lead to something as simple as greater divide in our society, or something as extreme as genocide.
In terms of racial supremacy and the extinction, if you will, of an entire race and entire something to be hyperbolic and extreme, to something along on those lines, and then maybe more practically it would be there would be a vast disparity in which there is now in treatments in some treatments. If you're not wealthy, it's not available to you.
Currently, there are few laws regulating what sort of experiments or treatments may be done on humans with this sort of technology, besides a sort of gentleman's agreement to not mess with humans yet. This is why there needs to be more legislation, and this needs to start with the United States. The United States, or more specifically the FDA, needs to create a regulatory system for how tools similar to CRISPR can be used on humans. ScienceDirect.com, another scientific forum often used to publish new research, wrote an editorial about this idea. It agrees with me that there needs to be some sort of legislation and mandates to ensure the safe use of these tools. If the United States takes a stand, then other countries will follow. The possibilities for tools such as CRISPR are endless, and this is the danger. These tools are not perfect, but if further legislation is passed, it will help use to regulate a tool that has the possibility of building a safer and happier generation of people who will not have to worry about many of the common diseases of today. CRISPR has the opportunity to change the world for the better, and legislation will help us do this. Thank you for listening to today's show.